Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Andrew once again. This is, of course, part 3 of 3 of my sweat session, which I played at 50 no limit. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, of course, you are going to have to go back and watch them because I have significant reads which I've built up over the course of the session, which I will be using in this part of the session, which I've developed in pretty decent detail in part 1 and 2. So be a good observer and go back and watch parts 1 and 2. Just a quick note, I'm actually I know it sounds like I'm really unwell at the moment, but I'm not. I'm actually perfectly fine, but I have this really crazy hay fever. If you're in the UK at the moment, you'll know exactly what I mean, because pretty much everyone in London has it. But it sounds like I'm just like deathly ill, but I'm really not. I'm fine. So don't worry about it. I know you guys were really concerned for me. But yeah, so I apologize if I'm sort of sound like death or if I'm sniffing or whatever. Anyway, as I said, this is part 3 of 3 of a weekday session which I played 4 tables, no limit 50, poker stars. And as you will recall from the last part, on table 3 here, I've just picked up the pot with the kings. After 4-betting, I didn't like my 4-bet, as we remember. It was too big. And it actually was quite embarrassing because I had just chastised another player for doing exactly the same mistake, and then I made it myself. So, pretty good start to the video. But let's see if we can't play some hands well in this session. So the 8-6 of hearts down here on table 4 is certainly playable. I can't remember if I opened it, but I probably shouldn't, just because playing a hand like 8-6 of hearts is kind of predicated on the fact that you're going to have maneuverability post-flop, and with a 38-13 and a 36-11 behind me, I don't think I'm going to have that maneuverability, because I think they're going to be calling me a little bit too much, and it's too thin to play for value, but I go ahead and raise anyway, just sort of completely ignoring my own advice. So I flop an open-ender, and I think that if you're going to raise a hand like 8-6 of hearts into loose players, you kind of have to bet this flop. It's not a very draw-heavy flop. I know it looks like it is. I mean, it's not the best flop, of course, but I find that monotone boards are actually reasonably scary for a lot of opponents, just because they might not float a very low spade, like maybe the 8 or 9 of spades. They'll obviously float a high spade, but if this kind of board is actually very decent if, say for example, the 5 was a queen or a jack, and they're sitting there with kind of a low pair or like some Broadway hand without a spade, it's quite a decent board for a continuation bet. Not the best, obviously.